Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray right here on AM 790 in Memphis from 9 to 10:30 every Saturday. Of course, you folks in Brownsville, you get it from 6 to 7:30 on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. And in Jackson, you folks got it early too, 6:30 to 8 on News Talk 101.5. This is third Saturday, and my co-host has brought gifts. 3 gifts for 3 wise men right here. Okay.
Wise men?
Well, wise guys. I guess that's more appropriate. You heard that voice. That is Frank Barton. Appreciate Frank coming in. He's brought me some of Mike Perry's crappie jigs. And they're pretty cool. The colors of them and everything here. You know, I got 3 of them here. Chartreuse. And then I've got something kind of golden flickery like. And I've got some Dixie. I got some, this is kind of orange and gold and all sorts of stuff. I will use these, Frank. You tell Mike at Real Foot when I get up to Real Foot in about, about 3 weeks. I'll be up at Real Foot and looking forward to doing that. And always happy to have Frank in. Let me tell you about the show. In fact, Frank gave me the idea. You folks know a couple of weeks ago I went out to the Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club out in Olive Branch at the Tim Nichols land. I guess that's where it is, right?
We call it the Tim Nichols Farm.
Tim Nichols Farm. And so we're going to talk to Tim today on the first segment of the show about the Mid-South Hunting Retrievers Club. I was really beautiful facility out there. Y'all had 69, I think, dogs competing, and they've got a kind of a test. What are we doing this morning out there?
This morning we're having a training session.
A training session. Okay, so we're going to talk to Tim Nichols about that, and then, we're going to give as much coverage as we can to the St. Jude Bass Classic, which is coming up on the 26th of May at Sardis. But today we're going to feature an event that's going to be the day before at Enid Lake, and that is the St. Jude Bass Classic Kayak Tournament. And we're going to talk to our good friend David Best at S.Y. Wilson, primary tackle, about that, and he's going to kind of give us a Mid-South fishing report. Then Matt Simcox, you folks know Matt, he is the Hunters for Hungry program manager for the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, and you would not believe how much deer venison was donated this year for that program. Folks, y'all really came through, a lot of you people out there. In fact, if I got right down to it, 47,572 deer were donated for the TWF's Hunters for the Hungry program. And we'll talk to Matt about that. And then we're going to talk at the top of the hour with Garry Mason. Of course, he is the founder of Legends of the Outdoors, and maybe we can coax out of Garry who's going in as the 2024 class. Talk to Garry, and they've just gone on to the Pursuit Channel with their new TV show, and they're up in southern Missouri. You've been doing some trout fishing up there, and we'll get Garry on the road, and then we'll close it out with my man himself, Dave Payne, Pipe Dream Farms Butchery. Today from noon to 2 is their customer appreciation day, so you can get on out there and eat lunch at Slingshot Charlie's and drive right on up the road and visit with Dave. But bring me an update on you, Frank. I know that
well, we've just been training dogs and running dogs.
So I know Hershey.
Right. Hershey was the one I was running 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
At the Mid-South event.
Now, has Hershey qualified?
That she passed that weekend.
There you go.
And that got her. She's now qualified for Master National. Goose had passed the test the weekend before or 2 weeks before.
So they'll both
that got him qualified. So.
They'll both now qualified to go to Paducah.
Right.
In October, September. What is that?
It starts the fourth week in September and spills a little bit into October.
Okay, so that's talk a lot of dog with Frank, a little bit about that, and then of course next week's show will be our birthday show. Shelby will bring her trumpet, okay, as I celebrate birthday number 81, middle-aged for a 162-year-old man. So looking forward to sharing.
I bet you are.
I am looking forward to it, yeah. Week by week I look forward to it. I'm looking forward also Tuesday night. I've been asked to speak at the First Evan Church men's fish fry, and I'm looking forward to being there. Thank you, Sammy Bell, and all the men of First Evan. I've been to that great event. They have it like 3 times a year, twice a year. I've been as a guest but never spoken before. Well, I spoke, but I didn't speak up on the platform. But anyway, I'll be doing that next Tuesday night, and I appreciate all the prayers if I speak as that is part of the show here. But of course, we're in the end of May. Everybody's thinking barbecue. I can't get used to 2 barbecue things going on at the same time, okay? You can just open the door. I guess when you came from East Arkansas, drove across the bridge, the whiff of barbecue was everywhere, down on the river. I can't even remember, what is that called, Shelby? What's going on down at the river? That Smoker Slam or something at Tom Lee Park? Yeah, okay.
Slam.
And then they got the World Championship at Liberty Park. Two going at the same time.
They're not competing with each other. They're just happening at the same time.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they say.
That's the polite way of saying it.
All right, but we do need to know an update on the Sultana Museum.
All right. Sultana Museum is
where are we now? Since you were here last month.
The demolition part of the project
is it over?
Just about over. We got a little more to do. We discovered a little bit of roof problem, which doesn't come as a surprise with that old building.
Didn't find somebody stowed away in the
old
roof?
No, we didn't find anything like that.
Okay.
So,
that building was pretty old.
So we are we've slowed down and trying to get that roof problem rectified, and then we'll go back through, start up again with what will be the new part.
Is that coming up pretty soon, next week, you think?
We'll probably get started on that in the next 2 weeks. That'd be my guess.
Are we still in the fund drive, FUND?
We're always fund drive.
Not in the FUN drive, but the FUND.
We are always.
Because this is a major project, as we talked about.
It's over $9 million.
Over $9 million. And the location is on the eastern side of the railroad tracks? We're
on the west side of the railroad tracks.
Okay.
On the north side of
near the old school,
Military Road, right across from it's the current school. But it's right across from the school in the old gymnasium.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
that the school had. So it's a great location. It'll be very visible for everybody coming through, and looking forward to it. We're excited.
The completion, you hope to have that thing up by 2025?
By April of next year. Yeah.
April of next year. And that'll be the anniversary?
Next year will be the 160th anniversary of the disaster.
Yeah.
And our plans are to have the museum open by that period of time.
Over $9 million. It's been a really cooperative effort, right? I mean, raising the money.
We have
architecture-wise.
Between the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Lots of private company donations. Federal Express.
Good old Federal Express.
And then company called Hartford Steam and Boiler. Some people really kind of know about the Hartford Insurance Company.
Right.
But Hartford Steam and Boiler, which was a company that actually got founded as a result
of the Sultana
disaster.
Because we know the boiler explosion.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
I did not know. And this will be a tourist destination. You guys are gonna.
We're estimating 50,000 people a year.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, 50,000 people. There'll be signage and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure the state will be there. Well, we look forward to that next April for the Sultana. And Frank, as you folks know from listening to our show over the years, the connection there with your
great-great-grandfather.
Great-great-grandfather. We'll do that in the Sultana, but I'm kind of piqued after going to the Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club event 2 weeks ago that it takes a lot of coordination to do something like that. I don't know how many volunteers you had out there.
Club volunteers that weekend, we had about 10.
Did you really?
That were,
because you had seniors. You had them way over in the field.
When you say seniors, and we're talking not
senior division,
the senior division, not the senior people.
No. Well,
it sounded like you're talking about people.
No, I wasn't talking about the people, but senior people could be helping. Were there senior dogs out there?
So in a hunt test, there are 3 levels of competition.
Okay.
Junior, which would be the young dogs,
all right,
just starting out.
Okay.
Senior dogs, which would be one step past junior,
all right,
and then the master dogs, which are the next step past the senior level.
All right.
The master competition is a minimum of 3 series and or 3 different tests. Seniors 2 and juniors is 2.
We're going to find out a lot of that, but by talking to Tim Nichols. Are you the president of this club?
I'm the president. And,
El Presidente. When I went to the Facebook page and I've joined, I'm liked, and I put on there, and I saw, let's see who the officers are here.
Oh, well.
I salute you. Huh?
I'm the president of the club. I was chairman of the event this last spring and 2 weeks ago.
Way to go, Frank.
And
that's why everybody was coming up to you and asking questions. Huh? Frank was there.
Everybody came up to me and said, "Who's that guy you're talking to?"
Yeah, who was that guy?
I said, "That is the Larry Ray."
Oh, I don't know about that.
I did.
You did.
Everybody knew who you were.
Yeah, just never seen me before.
They said, the newspaper person. I said, yeah, he's got a radio show now.
That's right. It's Frank Garton on there, too. All right, let's take a break. Come back. We're going to talk some more dogs. The show's going to the dogs. I don't know. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Shelby McCall is taking care of us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this Saturday, May 18th. Now, when we talk next week, I'll be another year older. Next week is birthday show out there, folks. And so Frank's already asked me, and I told him I'll be middle-aged for a 162-year-old man. So which means I'll be 81, and I'm proud of it. I don't want to go back to reverse the numbers and be 18 again. I don't think at that. But had a chance a couple of weeks ago at Frank's invitation to drive out to the Mid-South Hunter Retriever Club out in Olive Branch at the Nichols farm. And Frank gave me great directions. I had never turned left on College Street before. I'd always turn right. I didn't know it made a left. But when I got on the gravel road and I drove out there and I followed the folks and I turned in the driveway and I said, I'm out here to see Frank Barton. And the guy in the tent said, good luck. So, but we've got Tim Nichols on, whose land is the home of the Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club. And we got Tim on the line with us. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. Good morning. You doing all right, Larry?
We're doing great.
Happy early birthday.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I thought Frank would bring a gift today. Well, he did. He brought me some of Mike Perry's crappie jigs. That's Frank. There you go. That's a nice gift and everything. Well, we know you got a test going on out there today. Is that what we call this, Tim?
Well, we got a training day, Larry. We try to have training days with the Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club on the first and third Saturdays of every month.
Okay.
Normally we start in February and run through October, weather permitting. Normally, once it gets November, people are brushing duck blinds.
That's right.
Getting ready to deer hunt and duck hunt, so it kind of drops off then, and then we kick back up in February.
Well, tell us about the facility and your farm out there, because it is really beautiful. Is this land that's been in the family for a while?
It is. My parents bought this property in 1955.
Wow.
4 years before I was born, and it was 96 acres, and it had a little house on it, and the house actually burned when I was 12.
Oh, man.
But my dad, he spent a lot of time and effort, grooming the property. I don't really remember it. I was just when they bought it, I wasn't even born, but
yeah,
I can barely, it was just kind of hills and gullies and gravel pits, and he spent a lot of time and effort with a bulldozer, and which is still kind of rolling hills.
Oh, beautiful! Beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty property. Yeah, it sure is.
Was it farmland? Have you used that as farmland, or is it just what is it?
No, pretty much about the only thing he had ever done. He had a few cows, about 30 head of cows on it at one time, and we've cut hay off of it. But other than that, it's kind of turned into a dog mecca now.
Dog mecca. Well, Frank, talk about it. Talk about this facility, y'all guys.
Well, I've been in the club since about 1994. Is kind of when I got into it, and we actually my wife saw an ad for a puppy for sale there in Memphis, and we went up there. Of course, back then that was in 1994, and we went up there and looked at it. And it was a fellow named William Adams. He was a plastic surgeon there in Memphis, and anyway, he wanted $400 for the puppy, and man, I thought that was just an outrageous amount of money for a 7-week-old puppy. But of course, that's nothing nowadays. But when we brought the checkbook with us, I knew I was in trouble.
Yes.
Anyway, we came home with the puppy, and
that started it.
He told me, he said, "Look, if you'll buy this, I'll help you train it." And he did, and I tell you what, I've met just a lot of great people since I've been involved in the club. Doc, he helped me train it, and he's invited me to duck hunt over where they had a club over at Brinkley, Arkansas, and I mean, just tremendous people that are in the club. There was a lady named Gail Camp. I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
Yes, Miss Gail. She's still going. Yeah. She went in the Legends of the Outdoors last year. Over in Springfield. Really, Miss Gail. Okay.
Yeah. She told me that she won the ladies duck calling championship in 1959.
Yes. Yeah.
And I said, Miss Camp, I said, I was just a baby. I said, I was born in 1959, and she looked at me and she kind of shrugged her shoulders. She said, well, Tim, I was just a baby myself. They just took a pacifier out of my mouth, put a duck call in there, and the rest is history.
She is a wonderful lady, and had a chance to meet her at Springfield last year at the Legends of the Outdoors, and wow, still going. And now, Frank, the facility that Tim has out there, talk about this layout, Frank.
Well, we are fortunate.
Yes.
I mean, just tremendously fortunate to have the piece of property available to us, and it is for the last several years. I don't know. Tim can tell you how long, but it has been groomed, manicured, maintained for retriever training.
Yeah.
And out of the goodness of Tim and Lisa, that's his wife, it's hard to make that facility available to us. So it's got plenty of water.
Yes, it does.
that we can run tests off of, and land that Tim I call it manicuring, because he'll mow the grass, but he mows the grass in a way that we retriever people like to run tests. He doesn't just lay it all flat. He'll do strips, and
I noticed that. Yeah,
there's strips, and when you came out there, that field was more like a checkerboard.
Right. Yeah.
All those things make it better.
Yeah.
For training and also testing, but mainly for training, and that's what we go out every other weekend, the first and third weekends of the month. And
so the land itself, Tim, being part of the family. What do you do for a living? What's your?
I'm retired from the railroad.
Which railroad?
Burlington Northern Santa Fe. I hired on when it was the Frisco Railroad, and then Burlington Northern bought them out.
Man, I love railroad people. My hero was my Uncle Perry, who worked for Missouri Pacific, and when I was little, I only thought the train went to Poplar Bluff, and that's where the world ended. But he was a brakeman and conductor, so I thought that Frank had mentioned you with the railroad and everything, but the facility itself, this takes, it was beautiful. I mean, the land itself and the way you had it, it takes some work to do this, right?
It does. In fact, when we built our house, the fellow that was doing some cornice work, he was up here doing some work, and he said, Tim, he said, y'all got a pretty house you're building here, but he said, your house isn't worth $1 million, but he said, I tell you what, he said, you've definitely got $1 million view looking out your back door.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
And it is, for this area too, because all the branches grown so much, and it's just encroaching, and we're right at the edge of the city limits. Thankfully, we hadn't been annexed,
I was wondering about that because you got your gravel road going in there. Everybody knows where College Street is. I mean, most of us had been up and down, and the fast growth of that. But so, what do you get a kick out of this, Tim? Tell me, what's the kick here?
We just enjoy it because I tell you we kind of stress in the club. You want to have a good retriever not only in the duck blind, but you want a good retriever in the house as well.
Yes.
And like I say, my dog, especially the way the duck seasons have been the past few years.
Oh, man, we won't get into that. Yeah.
No, but I guarantee you, my dog picks up a lot more bumpers and training ducks than he does, actually in a duck blind.
Yeah.
So you want a dog that's going to be laid back in the home as well as in the duck blind.
How many dogs you got? 1, 2? What do you got?
We had 2 labs and a Pomeranian. The Pomeranian, of course, is my wife's. And of course, the Pomeranian it rules the roost. It's the boss of the whole place.
Oh, okay. All right. You don't have a poodle then like Jack Combs. Okay, I just wanted to know.
No, but I tell you what, I judge. I kind of got into this, and after being in it a while, I was asked to judge, and I've judged quite a bit now, and I've actually judged a standard poodle, and the poodle actually did a great job. I mean, this was a master test. I don't know if you're,
Oh yeah.
You got the junior level, which is the lowest level. That's kind of for younger dogs or people that are just dogs that are just starting out. Then you have the senior level, which is kind of middle of the road, and the master level is kind of the top of the line. They're a lot more demanding. Triple marks and poison birds and things such as that.
What about people want to get interested in this sport? You and Frank, tell me a little bit about how you get involved. How do you join the Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club? What's the steps here?
Well, anytime they want to come out for a training day, like I say, we have them on the first and third Saturdays. They can join then. The membership's only $25, and you'll get $25 worth of information and advice, whether you want it or not.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, and so
and we also have a Facebook page. Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club has a Facebook page.
So how many members y'all got?
I don't know, Frank. How many would you think?
Frank?
Right now on the rolls, we've got about 30.
You got 30.
And probably of the 30, we've got about 15 that are very active.
Okay.
And we got 15.
But if somebody...
The other 15 kind of come in and go out. Yeah.
But if they want to get involved, they can go to the Facebook page, I'm sure, Tim, for the information, because I know you had some young folks out there. I was amazed at people in lawn chairs coming out and watch. I know there's a lot of families. This is really a camaraderie thing, isn't it? I mean,
it is, and the Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club, it was formed in 1985, and I think the purpose of the hunt test program was really to give people, a way to work their dog, that they weren't involved in the field. The field trial game is I'm sure you've probably seen some field trials before, and it's it's such a demanding sport. If you're going to train your dog to that level, it's I'm not saying it's impossible for an amateur to do it, but you really have to put in a lot of time and effort to get a dog to be competitive in the field trials, where in the hunt test program, it still takes a lot of time and effort, but nothing like it does to get a field champion. You
got to want to, and of course we got just a couple of minutes here. I appreciate it. So tell our listeners the Facebook page, all right? They can go to Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club Facebook page, right?
That's right.
And get all the information you want, folks. And I'm telling you, you don't mind spectators coming out? I mean,
no, they're welcome to come out. Like I say, my address is, it's out here at Olive Branch. It's 11123.
That's it.
College Road in Olive Branch.
Yeah, and when you get to College Road, go east on it because it's gravel. If you go on the other way, you're going the wrong way. All right?
That's right. Dead east, and you'll dead in at our house.
You will. Tim Nichols, thank you, man, for being on with us this morning, and I'm going to come back out there. I'll be back out there. I know how to get there now. And there's many good so many good eating places on the way out there, too. All right.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Have a great day. All right?
All right. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you. All right. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk outdoors and what we call the fastest 90 minutes on outdoor radio programming. as we'll come up to our 24th year coming up later in August. And, of course, Frank Barton being third Saturday. Good morning again, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you for taking that long drive over from Marion, Arkansas, and smelling all the barbecue as he got here. And I appreciate Tim Nichols from the Mid-South Hunting Retriever Club for visiting with us. Now we're going to kind of switch gears and talk to one of our good friends. He's been doing this a long time. I've seen him progress from where he was and where he is now, and we want to talk to David Best, S.Y. Wilson, primary tackle. Good Saturday, David.
Good Saturday. How are y'all today?
We're doing great, and I really wanted to get David on this week because we're trying to build up to not only the St. Jude Bass Classic on May 26th at Sardis, but also the day before on May 25th in Enid is the St. Jude Bass Classic Kayak Tournament, and David is my kayak man, okay? And everybody knows that. So let's talk first before we check in on fishing. What's fishing going on, David? Let's talk about this event. Is this the second or the third? I can't remember.
This is the third year for
wow, that's I can't believe it. Yeah, third year. Okay,
still growing.
And so talk about what are we going to have? What's it in Enid? Let's talk a little bit about the event itself.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is our third annual kayak event for St. Jude at Enid. It's one of those things we've been building on and still don't have it where we want it, but we're trying to kind of build it up, and, we're just working hard. I mean, we've had more people every year. We had right at 30 last year.
Yeah.
We were going to beat that number this year. We decided to have it, we had it the day before. We had it the day of 3 years ago. That's just too much to be going on with the bass tournament, too. And so last year we had it the day before, and we had the events and award ceremony and everything at the registration. We're actually going to do the awards and the event ceremony at Enid this year, just to kind of keep it separate.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah.
Instead of trying to just lob everything in together, and I'm taking on some new responsibilities come next year too. We'll talk about later, and at another date. But we're
now you're teasing me, David. You can't just throw it out there. I'm a newspaper man, David. You're teasing me on things. I mean, we can't break news here. I mean, you can't tell us what's.
We can soon.
Okay, soon. So the next time you're on, which will be sooner than you think now, I mean, we'll talk about that. But this event will be at Enid, and where's it going to be based out of?
So with the kayaks, the guys can launch out of any boat ramp that they want to.
Yeah.
And so we're probably going to do our award ceremony at McCurdy Point that afternoon is what it's looking like. And we'll there'll be 20, 30 of us there. It'll be fun. Corky's is one of our sponsors, and
there you go.
They provide food for all the anglers. And then Hobie's another sponsor. They're giving away a 10.5-foot passport.
Oh, they are?
Okay. Kayak for that event.
Okay.
For first place. And then we have Rogue and Pro Guide batteries and Little Miami rods and Powell and several other people who have given product for awards and stuff. And so we're really trying to continue to build it. And we're actually going to do it next year. It's going to be a little different in that this part of it will be an invitational.
Okay.
And we're going to do 8 to 10 or 12 tournaments with other kayak clubs running them, and in order to raise more money and do it in a little smaller scale. And then we'll have a big invitational for all the winners. And come fish for all the big prizes for free.
So you're hopeful about 30? Is that what you're hoping for?
That's what we're hoping for. I think I've got 17 right now. But fishermen are the world's greatest procrastinators.
I don't know. Duck hunters are too. So I don't know.
So they like to keep us guessing till the very end.
And so we're running out of time here, procrastinators out there. I mean, because this is a wonderful opportunity because the money does go to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, right, David? I mean, that's
sure does.
That's the primary benefactor of this, and all these 50-plus years that they've done the St. Jude Bass Classic, over $4 million raised. And you guys, it may sound like a drop in the bucket compared to that, but the sport of kayaking, if anybody knows how that's going, it's David best in the folks at S.Y. Wilson and Primary Tackle out there, David. And you'll have an assortment. You'll have all sorts of things, but they can put in. And one other thing, folks, there's no weigh-in. I mean, this is a little bit different because we're going by inches, right, David? I mean,
correct. And so the way that works is we use an app, and that app records all the weights and everything, and it allows me as the tournament director to see where these fish are being caught, so we can make sure they're being caught within legal bounds and all that. So, and so there's some restraints to help us with keeping track of everything, and it's such a cool way to conserve the sport as well.
It is
because those fish go right back into the water. There's no stress on them. They come in, they go out.
None at all. And so the inches is what it. And I don't know what's the minimum. What do we call that? What's
we do a 12-inch minimum.
20. Okay. All right.
We do a 12-inch minimum because we don't have to adhere to any kind of state stuff because they're going right back anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
So they pop them in there. They put them on that board, take their picture, record it in the app, and it comes to me.
So this is May 25th at Enid Lake. And the way you can get involved in this, David, where do they go to get information and they want to sign up? What's the basics here?
So just look up Tourney X.
TourneyX.
TourneyX.com, and then type in inside of Tourney X, you type in the St. Jude Open Classic, and that will get you to that where you can register for the event. You can also go onto our Lines In Facebook page or to the Primary Tackle Facebook pages to see some of the videos where we discuss, some of the rules and some of the different details. And we'll have our anglers meeting on Friday night.
Okay.
And where we'll talk about, the rules and all that.
Go over the rules. Got to be rules. And so what's the entry fee?
We passed our deadline for the $100 entry fee, so we're at $125 right now.
$125.
But all that goes to St. Jude.
All that goes to St. Jude, and talk about the kayak world, David. How are we doing out there at your place?
We've seen a resurgence for it this year. We are getting we've sold a record number. We've sold the most kayaks to date for the year that we've sold in like 3 years.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that's amazing.
So it's really picked way back up. We've got a great selection right now of Hobies and new canoes.
Okay.
And so we are just working through it. I mean, we got lots to pick from, lots of accessories and batteries and trolling motors and all that good stuff.
So you've got and you sell what kind of kayaks again? Tell me again.
Hobie. Which is one of the oldest brands out there, and
sure
New Canoe are my two majors, and we sell Jackson as well.
Okay, and that's at the S.Y. Wilson Primary Tackle right there in the historic. That building is over 3,000 years old. No, there's
130.
130 with a lot of ghosts upstairs. I mean, when he takes you on a tour of the building, it's you can have a Halloween party there. But let's talk fishing now. I know we got some more rain yesterday in the Memphis area. We got more rain. My wife's going nuts on trying to get her garden going. So what's going on fishing wise you're hearing?
A lot of folks catching fish. I mean, they've been catching some fish in the bushes flipping over at Kentucky Lake, which is good to see.
Yes. Yeah.
They've been doing really well over there. I mean, it's been. We're in that post spawn.
Yes, we are.
In that in between, but there's some. I'm seeing some good fish caught. I got guys bringing me pictures of some pretty good ones.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
caught a couple of good ones the other day at Herb. So.
Well, I know you keep up with all them kids too. The West Tennessee student. What is that?
The 901?
Yes.
901 High School.
Yes.
Which is the 901 Bass Club for here in Shelby County.
Yeah.
We're having an event on June the 8th at the shop. We're having a fundraiser because a couple of my kids won.
Hold on now. Let me get that down. June the 8th at the place, at your place there.
Yep.
You're having a what now?
We're having a fundraiser. The kids are going to be out there washing some cars and doing some stuff, trying to raise some money to pay for their trip to the national championship.
Okay. Well, we need to be sure and mention that, and I'll try to get that on my Facebook and my webpage. June the 8th And the location, people, if you don't know, tell them how to get there.
So we're right here in Arlington on the historic square. The physical address is 12020 Walker.
Okay.
But the parking is on the opposite side of the building from there, but that's where we're at.
All right, and you're open today from when to when on Saturday?
10 to 5 on Saturdays and 12 to 5 on Sundays.
Okay, folks, and if you're interested in participating in that St. Jude Open Bass Kayak Classic, you go on Facebook, get the information. Just go out there and visit with David and the good folks at SYS Wilson and Primary Tackle. I don't know how many items you got in there, but thousands.
It's a bunch.
It's a bunch. That's what he does. It's a bunch. David, thank you, man. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good one. We'll
good.
talk to you soon. All right, buddy. All right. David Best and I tell you, that St. Jude Bass Classic, I'll miss it this year, folks, for the first time. But we will have Jimmy Washam on next week's show. I think it's next week. Jimmy will be on to talk about the St. Jude Bass Classic. And, of course, Ron Wong will be in the studio with us next week. And Ron's going to be down there on May the 26th for that event, taking pictures for them. And it was good to have Vic Lucas on last week's show. The St. Jude Bass Classic and now the Kayak Classic are really wonderful events that all the money goes to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Okay. All right, Shelby's raising fingers over there, so let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Switch gears. You still here, Frank?
Frank's here.
We're going to talk deer, venison for sure, not just harvesting, as they say, but eating. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on AM 790 right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Every Saturday from 9 to 10:30. And, of course, you folks in Jackson on News Talk 101.5 from 6:30 to 8. And in Brownsville on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM from 6 to 7:30. So that gets everybody really confused about, but you can hear me about all over West Tennessee and parts of East Arkansas. And I got my East Arkansas man in here, Frank Barton. Good morning again, Frank.
Good morning again, Larry, and good morning again, everyone.
And I want to brace everyone that, yes, Frank will do the opening segment of one of the next two coming up just to get him prepared. I'm probably going to do the next one, Frank, so you be prepared when we have Garry Mason on. But let's talk deer right now. And who better, when I got my press release from my good friends at the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, Hunters for the Hungry program, you folks out there know I really keep up with this because this is a win-win situation since it's been going on 26 years, and we're really happy to have on the man who has been involved in this from the start. And he is the Hunter for the Hungry program manager for the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, and that is our good friend Matt Simcox. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Larry. Thanks for having me again.
Always good when I get the news of what it was like the year, and you guys, the program you guys have served is such a wonderful program which connects hunters with certified wild game processor, food banks, hunter relief agencies, soup kitchens, and it's pretty amazing what you guys do, Matt. And first of all, let's talk about this year's figures, and I'm going to blow some of you listeners' mind when you hear what's gone on over the past 26 years. So how did we do this year?
Well, this year we set a whole deer donation record, Larry. We collected 3,132 deer.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine that.
That's the most deer this program has ever taken in a single year.
That's amazing. Yeah. And it's and I know when you started, you were there, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but that correlates, folks. Anybody want to guess how many pounds of venison that might be? Now, this is 3132 deer. This is, you'll take a guess, Frank. Yeah. How many pounds you think? 31 deer. 3,100 deer. All right.
You may get my calculator out?
No.
Just tell us.
How about 147,338 pounds of venison? Frank, you could not get that in the back of your new truck. I'm sorry. It won't go back there.
How many deer?
33,132. Yeah. I don't know how much that averages, but let's don't get too technical. We'll mess up.
That's a lot of meat.
That's a lot of
Just
meat.
under 160 pounds of deer.
No, that's a lot of deer. That's a lot of deer.
And Larry, the amazing thing is that went to provide almost 600,000 servings across the state. That's over 500,000 servings that deer hunters were able to ensure that that our Tennessee friends that were hungry got to eat. I mean, that's amazing.
And a great food source, of course, is venison. So what makes this thing click, Matt? I think I ask you this every year, and I'm blown away every year. You folks out there, you deer hunting friends of mine, and you know my passion for deer hunting. I love it. What makes it click?
Well, we pride ourselves on this program, and this program has 4 pillars that keeps it up. It's those pillars. We couldn't do this program without it. Some would say legs of a stool, pillars, that kind of thing.
Right.
And, we've got to have processors. Number one, we got to have processors. And your good buddy David Payne down there, and Galloway, he's one of our best processors. We've worked with him for years.
Well, we're going to talk to Dave a little bit later in the show about the big deal he's got coming on. But I know he loves this program, and so it takes the participation of the hunters, but it also takes the participation of the processor who are willing to take part in this. I don't know how many processors you have. How many you got in the program, you think?
We've got 75 all across the state.
75.
75 processors. And then the second pillar, as you hit on it, is the deer hunters.
Yes.
We've got to have hunters out there that are willing to donate a deer.
And you've got those too, by the numbers that we've got, with over 3,000 deer donated this year. And we know that's not putting a dent in the state population of deer. I know I never do, but at the same time, we're very fortunate to be in a state with the TWRA, who forefront of our deer herd and things along that. We've dealt with CWD, chronic wasting disease, and you guys, and that even makes it more remarkable to me, Matt, that even though we're in constant conflict with CWD and the way we're managing that and everything, you guys are still able to produce enough venison to feed. How many people, again, was that? How many servings was that again?
Well, this year it was 589,688.
We don't want to forget that 688 in there.
No, we don't. We don't want to forget any of them. And, so we can't do this without processors. We can't do it without our hunters. And we average about 2,500 hunters that donate. Some donate multiple deer, which we definitely appreciate them.
Yes.
One thing I'll hit on, Larry, is in the last several years, I've been looking at the percentage of donated deer per total statewide harvest.
Okay.
And to put that into perspective, this year, 2.05% of all the deer harvested in Tennessee were donated to the program.
Wow.
So all those numbers, all those people we're feeding, that's only with 2% of the harvested deer. Just imagine if we were to get 3, 4, 5%.
Yeah. You hear that, listeners out there? I mean, as we all get ready for next season, it'll be here before you know it, folks, because we start hunting in September now, and we have the early hunts, and we hunt almost through the end of January, but it stretched the season. But talk about this, because I'm looking at these figures total in 26 years, folks. Almost 48,000 deer have been donated. That's these figures blow my mind. And this is what I've got, total pounds donated. I may be off a pound or two here, Matt, but how about 2.4 million?
Well, that's about right. 2.4 million. And Larry, the impressive thing is when we put the wheels to the road, we're feeding people. We've provided 9.9 million servings.
Wow.
I mean, this next deer season, I want to encourage.
We're going for 10 million.
Hunter,
we're going to break that 10 million mark.
We are, and I want to encourage every hunter to donate because they can be a part of something that is just massive. 10 million servings. We're going over it this season.
We're going to go over it. So if every hunter out there donates one deer, one deer.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and we got 75 processors, including our buddy Dave Payne at Pipe Dream Farms Butchery, right out on the Borough Cemetery Road in Galloway. He loves to do this, and I know he does a lot of deer during the season because I've been in there and stack them up and everything like that. But if everyone donated one deer apiece, just think how many people we can serve. And not only that, Matt, and you've been involved with it, I don't know, first year, what was it like when we started this? I mean, was this this may go along with Dave's pipe dream? I mean, when you started this 26 years ago, did you really think this would come to this?
Well, the first year we collected 53 deer. Okay,
53 deer.
That's less than what Dave does by himself a single year for us.
That's right. So, yeah.
It's definitely come a long way. And, we the other two pillars, just real quickly, we can't do it without our hunger relief partners. We work with the food banks, the soup kitchens.
Yeah.
They love this. They love deer hunters. I want hunters to know that when you donate deer to this program, and we're sending this meat free of charge to these soup kitchens, food pantries, women's shelters, children's homes.
Yeah.
They love deer hunters. And then we can't do it without our funders. This program's a nonprofit. We have to raise everything we spend.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the force legs to the stool, if you will.
And I know people love to see y'all drive up. Well, I don't know how you do that. I don't know when you roll up to a food bank or whatever it might be, they know what it is and they know they're going to get a healthy meal out of this because there's nothing more healthy than venison.
Well, when most of your meat comes from a can and you've got meat that's less than a week fresh, they're very excited, Larry.
And to know 53, so that first year, you were kind of probably wondering, well, is this going to work? And now look where we are. I mean,
the next year we went to 468. Almost every year after that, we have increased significantly. I mean, we're one of the top. Tennessee's one of the top programs in the country now, and it's all due to deer hunters that are willing to donate.
Well, that's just what's amazing, and I appreciate you and Mike and all the great folks at the Tennessee Wildlife Federation for what you do. This is a win-win situation program, and I know, folks, if you want to get more information, you can go to tnwf.org. Find out all the great things that they do at the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. It'll blow your mind what they do because they are our conservation voice when it comes to things like this. And this is just one of many programs you guys do, right, Matt? I mean,
absolutely, Larry. The other thing too is we appreciate your faithfulness to promote this program and all the stuff that we do. You always do that so faithfully.
Well, I appreciate that, and I know you guys were there and gave me an award right in the middle of my cancer that really I didn't think I'd make it there for it, and I remember Mike telling me, he said I was Communicator of the Year, and he said, well, I thought you'd already won this. No, I waited till I had cancer, then I came and won it. So, but we appreciate Matt, we appreciate you, buddy. Again, congratulations on a great deal. And, folks, let's get ready for 2024, 25 deer season, and we'll talk to Matt again. Okay, Matt? All right?
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Larry.
Safe travels. We'll talk to you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on AM 790 right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Every Saturday morning, coming into 24 years from 9 to 10:30. And, of course, all you folks in Brownsville on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM. On Saturday mornings from 6 to 7:30, and News Talk 101. Jackson on 6:30 to 8. And it is the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio program. Frank Barton will agree with that, right?
It is.
I
can't believe it.
We got two segments left. Yeah, it's maybe time to go. You got to get to Meeker, Oklahoma. You know, I got to get someplace else myself. We're going to talk to one of my special friends right here. And I know before he ever says it, yes, Miriam is a better fisherman than me. I know he will say this. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, Frank.
Most people already know that.
Did I ask for a comment? No, I did not. But, all right, one of Miriam's special peoples, too, is my good friend Garry Mason. Good morning, Gary.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Frank. How y'all doing this morning?
We're
doing good.
Frank's trying to keep me straight. You know, I'll be another year older on next week's show, so he's trying to keep me down on the saddle here. Of course,
I'm just taking Miriam's side.
I know you are, and a lot of people do. But anyway, of course, you folks out there know Gary is the founder of Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame, and so proud of the accomplishments that Gary has made through his family, through his organization, and so happy and proud to be a part of that, that we announced on air a couple of years ago that caught me speechless. But it's always good to talk to Gary. And, Gary, I think we got August 17th coming up in Springfield, Missouri. Can we tell our listeners out there this morning who's going into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, most absolutely. This year will be Mike Pentecost.
Yes.
Mike is the owner and founder of Woodhaven Game Call.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Bill Jordan.
Oh, Bill. Yes.
Will Primos of Primos Game Call.
Yes. Yeah.
Bill Cooper, our famous outdoor rider buddy from over in St. James, Missouri.
Yes.
Bill Carson. Bill Carson is a factory rep for Johnson Outdoors and travels around all over the country telling people about the good products from Humminbird and Minn Kota.
Yeah.
Our pal Kent Driscoll, our famous crappie fisherman.
Yes. Yeah.
He's B&M Pro Staff Director with B&M Poles. Then we've got Bobby Hart. Bobby is the guru behind Hart Rifles.
That's right.
The long-range rifle shooting expert.
Yes, he is.
In the country.
Yeah.
And then the last but certainly not least, we got Murray Crow. Murray is one of the founders and I guess the inventor of Outdoor Spinning Wing Products. Terry Denman owns that company, but Murray was the inventor of those products.
Oh, he was. Yes. Yeah.
And certainly has set the waterfowl hunting industry on its ears by inventing some great products for us waterfowl hunters. And that rounds out the 8 guys that's going in this year. That
is amazing. This will be what year, Gary?
Oh, and I knew you was going to ask me that. I think this is the 23rd year, although we had to miss 1 year because of COVID.
Yeah, I think it's the 23rd as well as I can remember. And, wow, you threw some names out there that go back a long way with me. And, of course, Kent right there in our area with the B&M and all the other folks. And, Will, my goodness, Will. Yeah, and Bill. One of my best shows last year was Bill and Tyler on the show at the same time. His son, talking about that. So that is August the 17th at the Johnny and Jenny Morris Convention Center, I'm assuming again, Gary, right?
Yes, that's correct. That's Johnny and Jenny Morris Convention Center, yes. And doors will open at 9 a.m. We'll start the program around 10, and then it'll go usually until about
Let it go. Let it go as long as it wants to, Gary. It's the most amazing event, folks. If you've never been, you need to mark that on your calendar. We will have all this on LarryRay.com. But I'm just so proud, Gary. You guys have stretched this. It's a long way from where we started. I know I was up there when it all started, and the General Jackson and everything else you guys have done. and now you've spread it out. And, of course, Gary's a former Northwest Tennessee tourism guy, one of the first guys when I became outdoor editor of the Commercial Appeal. He took me and Miriam fishing, and that's when Miriam became famous as a fisher person, thanks to Garry Mason, I think. I mean,
well, I appreciate that, and I want to say that we also do other awards at that.
Yes, you do.
Each year, and we've got a new award coming up this year that's going to be the American Outdoor Artist of the Year.
Whoa! Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
and
we've got the Wade Bourne
Communicator Award. Yes.
Yeah, and you've received that as well.
First one.
First one, and so we do a lot of other awards and have a big silent auction and some live auction items and great food, a little bit of country music. You don't want to miss this. A
lot of patriotism too. I mean,
absolutely.
We do that, and Gary's a man of faith like I am, and all the other guys, and your family is so involved in this, Garry, and it's a big production. I know as soon as that baby's over, you're rolling for next year. But now you've got so many other things in the fire, Garry Mason. I mean, now with you're on the tour now. You were up in Missouri. Tell our listeners what was going on up in Missouri.
Well, we were up there shooting a television show with Ray I and Bill Cooper. Tommy Garner was there, and Charlie Brewer Jr. along with his daughter Caroline, who now is the third generation owner of Charlie Brewer's Fighter Grubs.
Yes.
I was up there shooting the TV show Trout Fishing on Merrimack Spring River. We had a great time. If you've never been up there, you need to go. It's definitely a bucket list adventure. But we were up there shooting a Legends of the Outdoors TV show, and we have our own TV show now that is a companion product to the Hall of Fame, and it can be seen each week on the Pursuit Channel.
Pursuit Channel, yes.
On the Hunt Channel. Also on Roku, Amazon Prime, and all those internet platforms. But if you can't get it at those places, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Legends of the Outdoors TV on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can see all of our past episodes on YouTube.
Well, you guys have just, it's pretty amazing videos. I can't, now is that one posted yet? When will that be posted?
No, this one won't be posted until we post them on YouTube after we air them.
Okay.
On the Pursuit Channel and Hunt Channel. So it'll be this fall before this one will be posted.
Okay.
So we're in the third quarter right now. We're in the second quarter. We're rerunning everything that we run in the first quarter right now. And then we'll have new programming starting in July, going through August and September, and then rerun everything again in the fourth quarter. So this one will probably post sometime in August or September.
And, Garry, does this blow your mind? I mean, this is something that I know you dreamed about, and I know you didn't have a dream about this, and one day you told your wife, I think I'm going to do this. It's amazing what you guys have done, where you started, where you are now. What do you base this on, Garry? You've been able to really put together, bring people together from the outdoors and recognize folks who it's pretty amazing. Talk about the evolution of this, of what you do.
Well, Larry, it started out quite simply. I tell everybody that God gave me the idea. I was looking through the old slow dial-up internet one afternoon, and I couldn't find a Hall of Fame in America for people in the outdoors industry other than the great halls of fame such as Boone and Crockett, Pope and Young, the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame. But having guided a lot of country music stars, football players, baseball players, I looked around to try to find a Hall of Fame for people of all walks of the outdoors industry, and there just wasn't any. And I told Cindy one night, I said, there's not a Hall of Fame for people in the outdoors industry from all walks of the outdoors industry. And I said, somebody ought to do something about that. And she looked at me, she said, well, aren't you somebody?
You are.
In other words, well, it wasn't, but in other words, if you're not going to do it yourself, don't complain because others are not doing it. And I took the challenge, and the next day I told her we were starting the Legends of the Outdoors. And, the reason for its success, though, is not because of me, but because of all of you guys that worked so hard in the outdoors industry. It's pretty easy to promote guys like Bill Dance and Hank Parker and Jimmy Houston and Larry Ray and all those guys. So it don't take a whole lot of promoting. When you say one of those names, people perk up. And And so I think that's the reason that the God put me in charge of it. You know, he knew I knew how to talk and you know, could promote things. And I don't know why he waited for me to get here to do this, because somebody far greater than me should have done it.
No, it was in the plan, and you've got such a team. Talk about your team, Gary, because like you said, you couldn't do this by yourself. I know Cindy and your family is so heavily involved, but you've also put together a pretty strong team.
Yeah, I've got a great board of directors. Of course, Kent Driscoll is on my board, and Tommy Garner from over in Hardy, Arkansas is the president of my board. We just made an announcement yesterday to Donnie Conway of St. James.
I saw it. I want you to mention that. Yes, yeah.
He'll be joining our board, and we've got several other really great people. And then we've got folks like Cuz Strickland and Stan Jones and some other folks that sit on our executive board of directors. And those guys kind of help us promote the event. Cuz is always all in, no matter what we're doing, and a lot of folks are too. But that's just a few of the folks that sit on our board, and we're proud to have them. They're kind of volunteer service, you know, and my family, as you said, works really, really hard.
Yes, they
Every
do.
year, my whole family comes to help put this thing on. And, And I'm afraid I'm going to lose some of my family this year to college educations and
bless their heart. Yeah. Let them move on, Gary. I mean, you know, you got to move on. But that's August 17th, folks. And again, tell them where they can get the information, Gary, before we let you go.
They can contact my office at 731-593-0171. If there's no one in the office, my cell phone number will be on the answering machine. Just wait till it kicks on and listen to it, and you can dial my cell phone. I will answer the phone, and we'll get you tickets. We'll save you a table or a sponsorship or whatever you might like.
That's right.
You don't want to miss this.
You don't want to miss it, folks. August 17th, Gary. I will see you there, and we'll talk before then, buddy. Okay, safe travels. All right.
Okay, guys. Y'all have a safe rest of the weekend.
All right.
Good to talk to you.
God bless you, buddy. All right. Thank you, Gary. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Once again, it is the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray show. The fastest 90 minutes in outdoor broadcasting and the longest outdoor radio broadcasting in the Memphis area. All things that you'd want to find out about the outdoors in the Mid-South area, you'll hear about it here. It could be camping, boating, kayaking, bird watching, dog training, just about all that you'd want to find out. Larry Ray knows about it. And so now, without further ado, the oracle of the outdoors, the one and only Larry Ray.
I'm speechless. Frank comes all the way from Marion, Arkansas to do that. I mean, it's does Frank not need to be in FM radio? Frank has the I wish my voice, when I grow up, I want to be like Frank Barton with that voice. Mine's always gravelly, but he has the cool. Did you take speech in high school? Were you on the drama team, or were you in the something else at Bell Buckle or wherever you Webb? Huh?
Well, we had to talk a lot.
There you go. Okay. All right. Well, this guy
they did things they called declamations.
Declamation.
We had to stand up in front of the student body and talk.
Okay. Well, this next guy knows when to stand up and talk. I know that for a fact. He had former deputy sheriff, former member of the Shelby County Sheriff's Department, and my man, my place, where I take all my deer to get processed, the one and only, as he says, the oracle of Mid-South deer processors, Mr. Dave Payne. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
Of course, of Pipe Dream Farms Butchery, and I love to say that all the time. And Dave, we do appreciate you at Outdoors with Larry Ray, and been a faithful part of our team for several years now. But you think, well, where you got Dave Payne on in May here? I mean, well, there's something going on special today. Dave, tell them about what's going on at Pipe Dream Farms Butchery today.
Yeah, so today we're doing our first annual open house customer appreciation day. We're doing it from noon to 2, and we just thought, if you're one of our customers for deer, then you need to come by. If you're not a customer for deer, you need to come by. If you're a custom processing cow or hog customer, come by. Or if you've driven by and thought, man, I wonder what they do in that building, you need to come by.
And what will go on during those 2 hours?
So what we're doing is we're a custom sausage processing place.
Yes, you are.
So we're going to have all our samples of everything that we make throughout the year. We just want to kind of introduce ourselves to the community and let everybody know that we're not just the greatest deer processor in West Tennessee, but we're also do this custom grilling stuff and this custom sausages. So just kind of give everybody an idea of what we do and get to come by and look at our shop and see our facilities. And, we did a lot of improvements for the next season. And, just give people a chance to come by and catch up, and so to speak,
And so here we got, this is barbecue weekend in Memphis. They're battling the barbecues at the fair, at the Liberty Park, Tom Lee Park. But here we got the number one deer processor in West Tennessee. He's battling them too. He's going up against the barbecue and said, "Come on out to Pipe Dream Farms Butchery." What a challenge!
Come on out and hang out for a couple hours with us and just get, just see what we do. Just come by, shake hands. We still got some T-shirts available.
Oh, okay.
Things like that. So come on by.
You got any more of those sweatshirts? Or are you still giving?
Yeah, we do have a couple hoodies left.
Okay, folks.
Left over from the winter, and
So, I love all of my stuff. And tell them how to get there, Dave.
Yeah, man. So we're at 1365 Burrow Cemetery Road, really at Highway 70 and 196, just down the street from Slingshot Charlie's.
That's it.
And you can call or text 901-870-2819. Check out all our social medias, Pipe Dream Farms Butchery on TikTok and Facebook and everywhere else. And you kind of just see what we're doing.
All right, buddy. I hope to see you out there later today now, because that's going on there. Right now, it's coming up at noon to 2 o'clock. All right, Dave.
Right. We're about to light the grills and
light it up. Roll your windows down and follow your nose, okay? All right, Dave. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate y'all.
See you, buddy. Thank you, Dave Payne. Dave Payne. All right, Pipe Dream Farms Butchery. Customer Appreciation Day today from noon to 2 p.m., and like he said, they're right down the road from Slingshot Charlie's, and you wonder, what in the world is Slingshot Charlie's? Well, it's a good eating place, I can tell you that, right out of Galloway, right on Highway 70. Head on out to that. And, Frank, I know we're about to wrap this baby up again. Let me tell you about next week's show before I ask Frank a couple of real in-depth questions here. Ron Wong and Bill Cooksey will be our co-hosts next week. Ron will be in studio. We're going to start with Freddie Pinka. Now you say, who in the world is Freddie Pinka? Well, he's from Pinkston Middle School in Mountain Home, Arkansas. He is the 2024 Educator of the Year by Outdoors Tomorrow Foundation. They selected Freddie back in Dallas here just not recently. Betsy Woods will be on the show she is the TWRA Boating Education Coordinator. We'll talk about safe boating as we head into the Memorial Day holiday weekend. I think we've had 4 fatalities already this year. And then we're going to talk to BASS elite angler Josh Butler. And I think Ron Wong's got a couple of guests too, so that'll be about fishing. But anyway, Frank, you're heading to Meeker, Oklahoma.
Going to judge a master test in Meeker.
A master test in Meeker. And Meeker is west of Oklahoma City, east of Oklahoma City.
It's east of Oklahoma City.
Okay, east of Oklahoma City, and you'll have how many dogs, you think?
I think it was 55 when I looked at it. It didn't fill up. Someone called and they teased me a little bit, and they said, well, it would have filled up except they saw you were judging.
Oh, no. No, that's an opportunity. That's have you been to Meeker before?
I have judged there before. Yes.
You have judged there, so they got a nice facility.
I've judged there before. I've run dogs there before, and yes.
Is that a regional event, or is that anybody? That's.
Well, yeah, it's open just like Mid-South had its event a few weeks ago.
Okay. It's
that
the
is
same.
the Sooner Retriever Club is the name of this club.
Okay.
And this is their spring event.
You have really become this passionate now that you're no longer now you're are you the president of what?
I'm vice president.
You're vice president.
I'll be president.
What does that lead to? In 4 years?
In 4 years, I'll be president.
Yeah, but you've given up the duties of the bookman. You're not keeping track of all the dogs. You're helping.
I'm assisting the
new person.
The new person.
And you had done that for how long?
20 years.
20 years, which correlates to how many dogs?
That would be interesting. I could go back and do that math. But
would you do that math? I would like to know how many dogs that you have put down. How many books have you done since then? I've got 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know. I've saved them.
I save every one.
Yeah,
I save them.
People do not realize that this man had to, prior to the National Retriever Club, the national championship, which was in where was it last year?
Thomasville, Georgia.
And this year it's in Paducah, and you kept up with all those. This is before computers and everything. And were you doing books and things? Were you writing with a number 2 pencil?
When I started, all the entries were manual. They mailed them in to me.
Come on.
Oh no, they mailed them in, and then I would take the entries and I would type the information.
You would type.
I would type them into
on a typewriter.
No, not on a typewriter.
Okay.
I did have a.
You did have a computer.
I did have a computer, but
okay.
I would type it in and try and automate it as best I could. But it was we've come a long way since then.
Yeah, how many dogs last year?
Last year we had 1,220.
And that's not the record, though.
They asked me this year. Said how many we're going to have, and I said I've told them. I said no. Actually, last year was a record.
It was a record. Okay.
The largest supporting. I've told them I think there'll be between 1,100 and 1,200 this year. I expect just a small drop off.
But Paducah is centrally located, at least.
It is, but I'm basing it on what it was the last time we went from the East Coast to St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
And we had about a 4%, 6% drop off.
Now, this is a pretty nice place in Paducah, I'm sure.
Paducah's a very nice. It's a very nice place.
But it'll be a lot easier for you to travel to Paducah.
It'll be the closest one I've ever been to.
And you've been to Idaho and Oregon. Where you've been to some of the places.
Corning, California twice.
Corning, California.
Yeah. Fall River, Kansas. You can look up all these places.
I'm going to look at my books.
Where the heck is that?
Well, they've got good facilities, so they wouldn't ask you. And you have to have pretty good hotel situations and all like that.
Well, we have to have. It's interesting in that we have to have wide open spaces. We have to have rural type settings to do the dogs part of the event, but the social side of it, we've got to have some pretty hefty places. We can't just go anywhere.
So is this 1 year? So you're at Paducah. You know where you're going to be next year?
All I know is we haven't formally announced it yet, but it'll be in Texas, and most people know we're going to be in Texas, and then after that. It'll be somewhere on the West Coast.
It's a coveted thing for the area to get this. I mean, this economic boom.
It's over $5 million.
Yeah,
when we roll into town, there's a lot of cash that we bring with us.
Because you're there 2 or 3 weeks, aren't you? 2 weeks.
Some of us are there for over 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, Frank Barton,
the body of the people will be there for about 10 days.
Well, Frank, I appreciate you being in here today.
Thank you.
I know the news went out this week that the original Jerry Snow Cone is closed. And,
I just saw that.
Yeah, a lot of people are in depression, but it's still open in Cordova. And my friends in Bartlett said, "Come on to Bartlett." They want them to come on out there, but no, they have closed the original one in Nutbush over in that area in Kingsbury. Shelby, thank you for taking care of us. Frank Barton, you have a great weekend in Meeker. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Let me know what happens there. This is Larry Ray reminding you I do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else, Frank?
God bless the USA.